Apple spent roughly $10 billion trying to build a car, more cash than most national governments have lying around. Then they quietly scrapped the project and admitted it wasn't happening. That's the backdrop.
Today, we're introducing a brand new service, and we call it
Building cars isn't hard the way launching a good product is hard. It's physically, mechanically, safety certification hard. The kind of hard that has quietly killed dozens of well-funded startups that thought they could skip the line. Then in 2025, a company that had never built a car before, in its first full year of actually delivering them, outsold Tesla's Model 3 in Tesla's most important market. That company is Xiaomi. Yeah, the phone brand. In China, Xiaomi delivered 258,164 units of its SU7 sedan that year, against 200,361 for the Model 3, according to the China Passenger Car Association. A phone company beat the company that invented the modern EV on Tesla's own turf inside of 2 years. If you're skeptical, you should be, because the car industry has a long, well-documented history of prototypes being easy and volume production being brutal. Plenty of ambitious companies have rolled out an impressive concept car and then failed completely at building it at scale. Xiaomi didn't. They ramped SU7 production hard enough to run their factory at close to 200% of rated capacity, and they're currently building new plants, a Beijing expansion, and an entire new Wuhan facility, chasing a goal of over 1 million vehicles a year by 2026. On the exact metric everyone assumed would break a first-time car company, they blew past it faster than almost anyone predicted. So they solved the part that sinks everybody. Quality is a thing a sales chart will never show you. In China's own official first quarter 2025 vehicle quality assessment covering 29 large battery electric sedans, the SU7 finished dead last. It scored 239 demerit points, 56 above the segment average, and racked up the highest number of complaints per vehicle in its class. This wasn't a foreign safety agency with an axe to grind or a rival's marketing department spinning bad press. It was a domestic Chinese report in the country where the car is built and sold, ranking the same car that was simultaneously beating Tesla in Chinese sales as the worst performing vehicle in its category. Winning the race and finishing last in the inspection happened to the same car in the same country at the same time. On paper, the car reads like a flex of everything Xiaomi knows about consumer electronics. A Snapdragon 8 chip paired with a secondary processor rated at 700 TOPS, full 5G, a Dolby Atmos sound system, an onboard fridge that heats and cools. That's a spec sheet that sounds more like a flagship phone than a car brochure. It's exactly the strength you'd expect from a phone company entering this space, and it's exactly why that quality ranking feels backwards. A company that can pack that much electronics into a dashboard still finished last on the more basic question of whether the thing works reliably day to day. Price is part of how they got the sales lead. Pre-sales on the newest SU7 started at 229,900 yuan, around $32,900, and Xiaomi themselves pointed out that was about 2.4% cheaper than the equivalent Model 3, even after their own starting price had already climbed 6.5% from the launch version. Undercutting a rival while outselling them is a normal competitive story. What that same pricing was doing to the balance sheet is not. You'd expect a car selling in these numbers, ramping this fast, to be at least closing in on profitability. Xiaomi disclosed that its automotive division lost roughly $5,600 on every vehicle sold in the first quarter of 2026. The faster they grow, the more money they lose. Selling more cars isn't closing that gap, it's widening it every month as production ramps further. Then there's the car built specifically to prove Xiaomi could compete on raw performance instead of just volume. The SU7 Ultra launched with an absurd headline spec, over 1,500 horsepower, a claimed 0 to 60 under 2 seconds, priced around $75,000 in China. A direct shot at the best performance EVs on the planet. Then, after public backlash over how much largely uncontrollable power that represented in a consumer car, Xiaomi quietly software limited the production version down to roughly 900 horsepower. The car people were promised wasn't the car they got. By December, monthly sales of the Ultra had fallen to 45 units. 45 for one of the most hyped EV launches anywhere in the world months earlier. The safety record is where this stops being a business story. Xiaomi faced real public criticism over safety standards following a number of separate accidents involving its EVs. That's a significant shift for a company that had been marketing this car almost entirely on speed and spectacle. Following a fatal accident involving an SU7 fire, one where a driver reportedly couldn't get out through the vehicle's electronic door handles, Xiaomi introduced what they call triple redundancy backup door releases on later versions, adding a backup system designed specifically to let someone escape a burning car is functionally an admission that the original doors weren't reliably escapable in the exact emergency they exist for. That was a correction to something that had already reportedly cost someone their life. Separate reports describe an incident where an SU7 received an accidental remote parking command sent from the owner's own connected phone, moving the vehicle with nobody behind the wheel.
Smart driving function that had been engaged less than 20 minutes into the crash.
That deep smartphone integration is sold to you as a convenience feature. It's also demonstrably a channel through which a 2-ton vehicle can receive a movement command nobody standing next to it intended to give. Xiaomi's second model tells the same story faster. The YU7 SUV launched to extraordinary demand, briefly outselling the SU7 and becoming the company's main volume driver. Then domestic YU7 sales fell from 37,869 units in January of 2026 to 20,196 in February, 13,558 in March, and 9,876 in April. A 74% drop in 4 months. A car launched as proof Xiaomi could repeat its first success became a live demonstration of how fast that kind of launch hype evaporates once the early adopters have bought in. Lei Jun, Xiaomi's own founder, has publicly called this the most difficult stretch since the company was founded. The sales chart says Xiaomi is winning. The person who started the business says it's the hardest thing he's done. So, a phone company with zero manufacturing history beat the company that invented the modern EV category in that company's biggest market while packing in electronics most traditional automakers can't touch. The same car ranked last on quality among every comparable sedan sold in its own country. The company loses more money the faster it grows while undercutting its rival on price. Its flagship performance car got quietly stripped of the power that made it famous and lost almost all its buyers anyway. Its second model repeated the same hype and crash pattern within months, and in at least 2 documented cases, the features meant to sell the car as safe and modern were exactly where the physical risk to the people inside it was sitting. Xiaomi is still building. The Beijing expansion and the Wuhan plant are going up on the assumption that 1 million cars a year is achievable. Mass production was the part everyone expected to kill them. Every number since suggests it was the easy part.